and close our eyes for a moment. Checking in with your physical, mental, and emotional selves. Just look, observe, note what's there this particular moment. Be completely present with it. And then feel free to bring your hands to Anjali Mudra and hold any intention that seems just perfect for you today. And once you feel you have created the intention that is perfect for you, just know that absolutely everything that manifests does so because of intention and then the energy that supports it. So, if you will, open your eyes when you're ready. Namaste. Thank you all so much for coming today. All right. So we'll remain in a seat if that works for you, just to get this class not quite off the ground today. So let's inhale. Take the arms up and overhead. Then exhale, release the arms down. Inhale, take your arms up and overhead. And then exhale, just take your arms out parallel to the floor in a T. Turn the palms up. Turn the palms forward. Turn the palms down. Turn the thumbs down, palms face back. And then turn the hands 90 degrees, palms face down, palms face forward, palms face up. And then do that just a little more fluidly. So just rotating the arms. Try to keep the shoulder heads drawn back, the spine nice and tall as you're just rotating the heads of the arm bones in the sockets there. And then bring your fingertips to your shoulder heads. And we're just going to inhale as we twist to the left and exhale as we twist to the right. And just get the whole kind of rib cage warmed up and bring more breath into it, right? So here we go. And then just come back to center, release. Let your hands completely relax. Let your hands be heavy on your legs. Sit with your tall spine, shoulders back, and just breathe. Using your intention, see if you can imagine that breath moving into the sides of your neck, just sort of making this swoop up the traps and into the sides of the neck and up to your occiput. So just inhaling, pull breath up here, and then exhale and let it release. Inhale, pull breath up the traps in the neck, and exhale and release it. One more time, visualizing, pull breath up the traps, the neck, and exhale and release it. Now, fingertips to the shoulders, and we'll inhale to the right, exhale to the left. All right, whatever pace works for you. Here we go. All right, and then release. Hands rest heavy on the knees or the thighs. Relax your shoulders, your arms as much as you can as you breathe. fully and deeply after that kind of percussive twisting breath. All right, and now let's grab a block. And then we're going to use a strap, so you might have that nearby. So we're just going to pass the block around the body. So just hold it in your right hand, take it in your left, and bring it back behind you. Try to keep your spine tall. Just keep passing it from left hand to right, back behind you, bring it forward, and then from right to left, obviously. All right. So we're just moving the arms, keeping the shoulders strong, keeping the spine tall. And now switch the direction that you're passing your block. Try not to let your shoulders or your neck get bunched up. I know it's challenging because it does get a little fatiguing as we pass the block around. All right, and then we're going to take the block, set it down, grab your strap. All right, if you've got a super long strap, fold it in half. And if you don't, you'll just take a hold of it. We're going to take the strap up and overhead, take the hands out fairly wide on the strap. And just sit tall. Pull your shoulder heads back and down a little bit, and then slight bend to the elbows and tip your elbows forward as you tip your hands back. Try to relax your neck as much as you can while you have your arms up and over your head. Now keep hold of the strap and turn yourself to look to the left, and turn yourself to look to the right. And turn, look to the left, and turn and look to the right, and back to center. Now, can you straighten the arms and bring the strap behind your head? Again, keeping your spine nice and tall. Maybe the arms need to bend a little bit, or maybe you just take a wider hold on the strap. So we're going to move that strap forward and back, kind of slow motion here. A little pull on that strap. Arms come back behind you. You get a little opening for your pecs as the strap moves down. Bring it back up and forward. And inhale up. And exhale back. And inhale up. Then exhale down. And inhale up. Exhale back, inhale up, exhale, and just let the strap rest on your lap for a moment. Let your hands rest heavy on your legs. Completely relax your shoulders with the most aligned, upright spine you can. Notice, close your eyes and just notice how your head is sitting at the top of your spine. And you might just play a little bit with a really subtle movement of your head forward and back, not tipping the chin up and down, moving your head forward or back just a little bit to see if you can find that place where it feels pretty darn free for your neck to support the weight of your head, with your arms totally and completely relaxed. Breathing. All right, one more here with the strap. Take your hands not quite as wide as you had them when you were taking the strap back behind you, and then the strap comes up and overhead. Now we're going to bend the elbows and bring the strap behind the head. Keep your spine tall. Notice if you're making an effort to move your head forward in any way. Can you keep your spine just as it was with your head light at the top of your neck? And as you're sitting here, just notice, okay, so I'm holding the strap behind my head. Probably the bottom ribs are poking forward and you've got a bit of a back bend going on. Now, keeping the strap where it is, take a big breath in and exhale and start some abdominal bracing. So push your low ribs down, contract your low belly and your upper belly, bringing them toward one another. And inhale and let your ribs lift. And exhale and push the ribs down. See if you can let your kidneys get a little more alive. And inhale and let the ribs lift. And exhale, contracting your abdomen, pulling the low ribs down, and livening your kidneys. Inhale, lift the ribs, last one. Exhale, push the low ribs down. Feel the back of your body get a little bit more plump. And then we'll take the strap down again, rest it on your legs, rest your arms, rest your shoulders. Try to find whatever the residual feeling is, just try to find as much ease and let go of any effort at all that you possibly can in your upper body. Even notice if there's some facial expression or, anything going on. The corners of the mouth are trying to pull up and you feel, oh, that's actually contracting some muscles in my face and in my neck. Let it all go, like you're taking an upright nap for a moment. Notice how you feel when you consciously choose to release effort. And you might notice places where you simply can't. And it's okay, just observe. Now we're going to observe in the emotional body, are there places where you're feeling some burdens? Are there programs that you may be running within you that have been, stimulated by something that is just pulling up this feeling of having to carry some weight on your shoulders? And if there is something like that that comes up immediately as I say these words, then just see whatever it is, and can you start to look more at what the feeling is that gets evoked as you think about that, and let the story go. Just simply be there and very aware of the feeling that comes up. And maybe you can find a word to describe the feeling. That's the frequency, that's the underlying frequency of the story or the program that may be running. And when we can begin to turn our focus more deeply into just the frequency of what we're running, then we can sit with it. It doesn't feel as overwhelming because we don't have all of the verbiage, playing itself out over and over again in the head. Can you just sit with that and recognize, oh, that frequency. Yeah, I see that I'm running that, and I see that I have been running that. It comes and goes in my life. And when this circumstance happens, that's interesting because it fires that thing up. And then, I see how it affects my body. Aren't I an incredible and exceptional human? Isn't it just amazing that I get to experience this particular frequency? And even as uncomfortable as it may show up and manifest in our physical and emotional and mental bodies, when you tune in on the frequency like this, can you sit with it and just ask it, what do I need to know? What do I need to know? And you don't have to, there doesn't have to be an answer that appears immediately. Sometimes there is, but you just sit with it and ask, what do I need to know? When we give up resisting what is, then we're more open to getting the lesson, the message, the wisdom, whatever you want to call it, so that then that energy has the freedom to just perhaps melt away. And whatever has happened, maybe you've gotten an answer, maybe not. Just let go of this exercise now. An answer may arrive for you in any, just be open to receive the answer in any way that it may show up, right? And then let your eyes open and we'll continue to move the body. So let's go ahead and take the left hand to the floor. Take your right arm alongside of the ear. Just tip yourself over. Get into those side ribs a little bit. Try to stay heavy in your right sitting bone. And then come on back up to center. Take your right hand to the floor and the left arm up alongside of the ear. Again, attempting to keep your left sitting bone grounded as you tip. And back upright. Now take your arms out into cactus position. So we're going to do a little pranayama here, a kriya, where we take the arms out and forward, right? We've done this before. So it's an inhale as the shoulders and elbows move back. It's an exhale as you bring the elbows, forearms, and hands together, right? And you can do this at the pace that feels good for you. Okay, here we go. And then release the kriya. Rest your hands on your legs again. Let your breath deepen again. Try to relax your neck, your shoulders, have your spine just architecturally stacked in a way that you had the least amount of effort in the tissue. All right, and now we're gonna flip around and come onto our hands and knees. And then we're gonna sit right back, sliding the hands forward into a puppy pose. Not quite a child's pose, just a puppy pose. And, you know, when we change our position like this, then we don't have the same kind of effort in the shoulders to move the arms over the head. They're just moved over the head because of the shape that we're in, facing down. Right? So you can get some opening for the shoulders without that effort, without that muscular energy. And then lift up. And let's walk both hands over to the left. Have your hands wide and sit back. So see if you can focus on getting the right sitting bone a little closer to the right heel. Now keeping the hands to the left, lift the torso. Take your weight onto your left hand and slide your right arm under your left as you take a little kind of twisted threading of the needle. Now, your head's not going to go underneath your left arm. Your right arm's just going to slide underneath there. Just let your head rest. Maybe you get a little stretch for the side of the neck. And then release that. Let's walk both hands over to the right. Same thing, keep the hands pretty wide and sit back. Just resting the forehead on the floor, deepening the stretch down your left side. And then again, keeping the hands over to the right, lift the torso a little bit, and then we'll thread the left arm onto the right and come down. Resting the head on the floor, turning the head to the side. Head's not going to be under the arm. Maybe you just get a little stretch for the other side of the neck. And notice how it feels, right? So it may be that if you have one side of the neck that's a little more tender, notice which side it's on, the side that's flexed or extended. And then come on back to center. All right, now let's grab 2 blocks. And now it's up to you. If your shoulders don't feel amenable to this, then by all means you can do this without the blocks. I'm going to take my forearms up on the blocks, turning my palms up. Have your blocks nice and wide. You don't want to have your blocks narrow for this. And then sit back. And you'll notice as you sit back that your palms want to turn in and down a little bit. Just sit back and do your best to keep your palms turned up, your thumbs turned out as you sit back. So it's just a big external rotation for the arms, and with a little elevation underneath your arms, you just get a little deeper movement into the shoulder socket. And again, if it's just like not quite there today, no problem, no blocks. All right, and then shift forward. We'll take the blocks out from underneath there. And we're going to take a down dog just to get a little bit of traction for the neck. So go ahead and come on up to a down dog. Oh, that feels good. Feel free to pedal through your heels a little bit. With that mid-70s weather yesterday, maybe you went out and took a big spring-like walk, and maybe your legs are feeling it today. But notice in your down dog, can you let your head go? What is your natural habit for what you do with your head in your downward facing dog? Make sure your hands are nice and wide. You can do whatever you want with your legs, but try to relax your head. There's a little bit of effort to create more space around the neck when you kind of pull the scapula toward your outer ribs. And you do that by externally rotating the arms a little bit more, and you do that by spinning the triceps down or the elbows down toward the floor a little bit. And hopefully that just gives you a little more broadness across the upper shoulders and more space for your neck to simply hang there. Let's set the knees down on the floor. And we're going to have a seat in Virasana. So you can sit directly back if that's comfortable for you and your knees. You can sit up on a block if that's your preference. And sitting in Virasana now, roll the shoulders back, sit tall, and drop your chin. So getting whatever stretch is available for the back of the neck. Take your hands in a clasp and just let the weight of your hands and arms create more stretch, but don't pull the body forward. You still want to have a sense that everything's tall in the spine except the neck. and then release. All right, we're going to come back to a down dog using a block to support the forehead, the upper part of the forehead. So take a block, put it in the middle of your mat, slide your hands forward, and then you're going to have to situate your block in a way that can support your head. I think I'd like that block up a notch, so I'm going to put mine up on its edge. It just feels like a more comfortable height. Oh yeah, that's nice. It feels better on my shoulders actually, and I can just let my head kind of hang there. Make sure you're not tucking your chin. There's a sense of the neck being in line with the rest of the spine. And again, feel free to move your legs in whatever way you like, but mostly this is just about kind of supporting the head in this position. A little bit of gentle movement in the legs. Clearly your shoulders are having to do some work to support your body weight. All right, and then set your knees down. Move the block out of the way and come forward onto your belly. Coming into a Sphinx pose here. Point your toes. We'll do a little cat-cow in Sphinx pose, so for the upper body and for the neck, right? So as you inhale, settle the chest down, pull the shoulder heads back and engage your lower abdomen. As you exhale, round your back, drop your head, tuck your chin a little bit, rounding into your upper back. Keep engaging your abdomen. And then inhaling, pull the bottom of the sternum forward and the shoulder heads back. And exhale, round the upper back, tuck your chin. Engage your lower belly and come back to center. Now we're going to slide the left hand forward, come up onto the fingertips. The right arm's going to slide under again, a little threading of the needle. Only rather than turning your body to look to the left, you're going to pull your right arm back a little bit, still looking more toward the floor, and then let your chest start to settle on your right arm a little bit as you get a stretch for that outer right deltoid. Just get some stretch there. Notice what you're doing with your head, so you're trying to keep it as mellow as possible. And then unthread, right hand out in front, slide your left arm underneath, but rather than turning to come down onto the shoulder, turn your chest toward the floor. So that means the left shoulder sliding to the left a little bit, and you rest your chest against your inner left arm to get whatever stretch is available on the outer arm and shoulder. All right, and then we'll release that. Hands alongside of the chest, press up to table. Come on back up to downward facing dog. No block, just let your head hang. And then walk your hands back to your feet. Let's come to a standing forward fold. Hands can be wherever they need to be for you. Maybe they come to the floor, maybe they don't. Maybe you have your knees bent, maybe you don't. Just be with your body and make your sovereign choices about what is going to be the highest choice for your body at this time. Let your head go as much as you can. Now I'm going to recommend this, just that I like it. Not everybody's a big fan, but take your hands to the sides of your head and just press in a little bit so you've kind of got a grip on your head, and then pull gently down toward the floor. See what your neck does with a little additional space between the vertebrae. And if you don't like it, you can release it. It's just a suggestion. All right, and let's release. Hands to the floor. Bend your knees. Walk your hands forward again. And now shift right into plank pose. Set your knees back down and come back down to your belly. We're going to twist, so take your right arm out in front, roll onto the right side, take your left leg forward and your right leg back. Just rest your head on your arm, and then we'll open it up. So roll open, letting your head roll off of your right arm and reaching your left arm back behind you. Just take a nice big twist here. Notice what's happening in the neck. Are you getting a stretch on the left side? Are you getting a pinch on the right side? Maybe you need to back off of the twist for the head and the neck. Just let yourself be here, kind of receiving the pectoral stretch, the side stretch, the lower back stretch. Feel free to work your feet, a little flexing and pointing while you're here. But find the position for your head that feels the most optimal right now, so you're not really pushing it in any particular way. Especially if there's something going on in your neck that just feels a little crunchy, right? Don't be pushing that right now. Clearly that's not the pace for this class, right? All right, and then roll back onto your belly, and we'll do the opposite direction. So reaching your left arm out, roll onto your left side, right leg forward, left leg back. And then open it up. Reach your right arm back wherever it feels like it's the best place for you. Feel free to work your feet a little bit here. Try to let your head go as much as you can. When I say let it go, I don't mean twist it further to the right. I mean just let it go, let it be. Hopefully you're getting some nice twisting in the entirety of the spine here that's going to free some things up, you know. Maybe you get a couple little pops somewhere along the way. Just breathing, getting your pectoral stretch. And then roll back onto your belly. Hands back alongside of your chest and press up to tabletop. All right, so a little padding underneath the knees. Let's do a little bit of lunging work here. And if you will, grab your blocks. Give the upper body a little time off so we can work the lower body a little bit more. So let's bring the right foot forward in that low lunge position. Hands in line with your front ankle. And just let it be. Hands on the blocks. Let yourself be here in your low lunge. And then lift the hips and slide them back and make it a runner's lunge. You could walk the blocks back a little bit. Push the heel down into the floor. You can stay tall in the spine if you want to take a deeper stretch for the back of the leg, then go ahead and bow forward. Notice as you bow forward what's happening with your neck and shoulders. Try to pull the shoulder blades gently down the back so you have a little bit more space in the neck. Letting the neck just naturally round like the rest of the spine is, but not trying to push your head back towards your legs. And then lifting it up. Bend back into your right leg, walk the blocks forward again, and then curling the back toes under, lift your back knee up. So try to find the best alignment for your upper body as we hold this pose for a few moments here. So tendency is, for most of us, is going to be, there's going to be rounding in the upper back and the shoulders are going to hunch up toward the ears. Can you settle your chest a little bit so that the heads of the arm bones slide slightly back in their sockets? And then try to pull those bottom tips of the shoulder blades down a little bit. Can you find a little bit more freedom for your neck here? You don't have to lift your head. You don't have to drop your head. Find that kind of in-between place where you can picture the curve of your neck just as a natural extension to the rest of your spine as it moves toward the upper back and into your neck. And just breathing as you're receiving this nice stretch, letting the weight be in the hands rather than all the effort in the legs. And go ahead and set your back knee down. All right, now we'll switch legs. Bring the right knee back underneath you. Take your left foot out and forward. Just find your way into a low lunge, keeping the right knee down for right now. So just bending into the legs so that the left knee comes pretty much over the ankle. Your right knee's far enough back so there's a bit of a stretch there, but you're not overdoing it. You're not pushing the envelope in any way today. You're just really loving your body, respecting your body, and recognizing that, you know, when you show your body this kind of love and attendance, it may just give you a lot in return, right? So it's not always, you know how we were probably in our 20s or 30s, we were all like going to step aerobics classes and trying to get super fit, and we were pushing the envelope, and, you know, I don't know about you. It's, yes, I want to be fit, and yes, there's a time for effort, but not today. Today, it's just about being, breathing. Let's lift the hips and slide them back and walk your way into a runner's lunge here. Again, keep your spine lengthy, and you can stay up here, or you can come further forward if you want a deeper stretch in the back of the leg. But without sacrificing what's happening in your neck, can you come forward, pull the shoulder blades down the back, and just kind of let the head drop without trying to force your head in any particular direction. And breathing. All right, and then we'll lift up, bend back into that left leg and walk the blocks forward again. We're going to find our way into a high lunge with the hands on the block. So curling those left or those right toes under, lift your right knee. So yes, you've got a lot of weight on your hands. Your shoulders are having to do some work. How can you do this without having your neck get all bunchy? All right, so first, keep your arms straight, move your chest down. Then pull the shoulder blades down and just send a little energy through the top of your head. So it's almost like, oh, I'll send some energy to my crown chakra. How about that? And just breathe as you find this position for your head. If you drop it down, what happens? If you lift it up too high, what happens? Find that sweet spot in between where the natural curve of the neck feels like just the perfect extension of the rest of your spine. Trying to make it as ease-filled as possible as you hold the weight of your head with these incredibly strong muscles in the neck. Notice if you've been here for a bit and you're starting to feel those shoulder heads creep up towards your earlobes, see if you can, on your next exhale, slide them down the back a little bit. And then we'll set the back knee down on the floor. All right, we'll come back to hands and knees here. So moving the blocks out of the way. Let's go ahead and just take one block. We'll bring the elbows down, and we'll do this dolphin variation with the block horizontally between the hands. Sit back, let your forehead rest on the floor, and then holding the block between your hands, keep your elbows pretty much right where they are, and slide your hands back toward your shoulder blades, like your thumbs are pointing toward your shoulder blades here. Your hands can press into the block a little bit. Notice if you're getting any stretch between the shoulder blades. Try to breathe. Notice if you're doing anything funny with your neck. Can you let it be? And then go ahead and bring the block back down to the floor. All right, back to hands and knees. We're going to find our way slowly to a wide-legged forward fold, and you're going to need probably both of your blocks because we're going to rest the head on the blocks here. So just move whatever you have there out of the way, and we'll find our way into a wide stance. And use your blocks to support your head as you come forward. That feels a little high for me, so I'm going to take a block out. It feels a little bit better. And then let your arms rest in some way that feels comfortable. Now, even as you come into this forward fold here, your wide-legged stance, notice how gravity wants to pull the shoulder blades toward your neck. And just put a little bit of effort into pulling the shoulder blades up towards your waistline. So there's effort there, but there's no effort in your neck. Just letting your head completely be supported here. Your arms can be however and wherever is most comfortable. Okay, and then bend your knees just a bit and lift your head up off of the block. And we're going to do kind of a supported skandasana position here. So we're going to turn the right foot open, take your block, and start to bend into that right leg. You're going to take your block and bring it back and underneath you, and you're actually going to sit on it. It's a little too far forward. Sit on it. Where is it? There it is. So you have a little bit of support there as you're coming into your skandasana positioning. You could use your right arm against the inner leg if you want to, as you're sitting up. So whatever feels most comfortable for your head. I know that we're probably not even worried about the head right now as we're trying to navigate getting into this position. Let's see if it works for you. Keeping the knee in line with the ankle. Feels a lot nicer to do this pose with some support, doesn't it? All right, and then we're going to lift up and shift it over toward that left leg. Turn the left toes open 45 degrees or so, and then go ahead and bend into the leg and put the block underneath you where you think you can sit on it. There we go. I'm just going to sit up a little bit and turn my right toes up. Just allowing the stretch, the inner thigh stretch. A little bit of hamstring stretch. Allow your breath to just come and go. All right, and we're going to start to find our way out of it. However that happens for you. And then we're going to come down onto our backs. So let's grab a strap. And we're going to take the strap over the feet and go ahead and lay back. Taking the legs straight up toward the ceiling. And you can have one strap in each hand. Really just allow your feet to rest out against that strap. Getting a little inversion time here. So close your eyes and see if you can feel how your shoulder blades are engaging with the floor. Is one a little more flat against your ribs underneath you and one a little more up on its edge? Just notice. And if that's true for you, if you notice that, or you can find that awareness, is the one that's up on its edge a shoulder that's given you some some pause in this life? Perhaps you've had an injury or something happen maybe on that side. Still here, legs still up. Just a little inversion time, little inversion moment. Essentially legs up the wall with no wall. All right. And then just take the strap around the right foot, bring your left leg to the floor, extend your left arm to the left, and just take your right leg out to the right. So a little soup to pod here. Try to keep that left leg nice and grounded. And then bring your right leg through center, cross it over to the left. You could stay square on the back of the pelvis, or you could twist a little deeper, rolling completely onto the outer left hip. However you like to experience this pose. Maybe let your head drop a little bit over to the right so that you get a little fuller expression of a twist throughout the spine. Again, not pushing the envelope, not trying to push your head over to your right. Just let it be there. So there's a subtle bit of stretch. And then back to center, we'll switch the strap to the left foot, taking the right leg down, extending the right arm out to the right and opening the left leg out to the left. And then bringing that left leg through center, switch the straps into the right hand, cross your left leg over in whatever way you like, with as much twist as you would like. And again, once you have your left leg over to the right, maybe you just drop your head over to the left a little bit. Only to where it feels like it can just kind of hang out there. You're not trying to force a twist in your neck. Just let it be and see if you feel any stretch on the right side of the neck there. And then bringing the leg to center, we'll step out of the strap. Please bend your knees and roll to your side. Come on up to a seat. Okay, good. We're gonna sit on a folded blanket for a moment or two here. So sit so you can elevate your sitting bones. So you're going to take your right hand and you're going to cup it, and what you're going to do is squeeze your neck. So squeezing it in toward the spine, toward the cervical spine, just squeeze from the back. Try to relax your head as you're doing it. And then let it go. Just feel the energy as it shifts. Do you feel any circulation, anything coming into that tissue that you just squeezed? And then take your left hand and do the same thing. So you take it around the back of the neck and you just kind of squeeze, kind of pull. So if you pull the flesh so that you get a little pocket of flesh in your hand as you're kind of pulling on the sides of the neck. Try to relax your neck as you're doing this. And then release. Just sit, close your eyes, observe what happens as you release the squeeze. All right, now we're going to drop the head over to the left. Let the left ear kind of get heavy toward the shoulder. Just try to let the head go. Don't try to force it. Just let the weight of the head drop so you can receive the stretch that's available. And either you're going to keep your right hand on your leg or you set your right fingertips on the floor and just let that whole stretch deepen. Feel the connection from the neck into the shoulder, into the outer arm. I mean, you may be feeling this all the way down to your fingers. I don't know. But just let yourself be there. Or maybe you're not feeling much at all. It's all fine. Just let the head just kind of be there. All right, and slowly bringing the head back upright. Both hands back to the knees or the thighs, and then drop the right ear over toward the right shoulder. Don't try to force it. Just drop it as far as it will naturally go and stay there without any effort. Receiving, not pushing. And then it's up to you and how it's feeling today. Maybe the left fingertips come to the floor. Maybe that's enough to keep the hand on the leg. So be really, really aware. If your tendency is to muscle through things and push the envelope, can you resist that and just let it be so it feels more like you're receiving something than doing something? And then slowly bring the head back to center. Okay. So just let your head kind of move around like a little bobblehead for a moment. Real subtle little movement. No major thing, just a little subtle movement. We're going to do just a little bit of havening now before we come down onto our backs. Havening is a technique that really helps to soothe the nervous system. So as we do this practice, I want you to think, when you asked earlier, is there some burden? Is there something that is in your mental, physical, or emotional field right now that's just there? And I want you to hold intention to hear it. If there's anything that you're supposed to learn or know from it, but with the biggest, most loving, compassionate heart you can imagine. So we can soothe the nervous system and how it responds to the trigger and the programming, the thought, whatever it is, and start to soothe it so that perhaps the whole system can deliver the message that needs to be delivered and the energy can disperse. So in order to do this, we start, and you may remember doing this, we take the hands and over the forehead, the middle of the forehead, just let the edges of your hands touch there. And then slide the hands out along the forehead, down the sides of your face, to your chin. Cross your arms over your heart so you're holding your shoulders, and then slide your hands down the back of your arms to the elbows, down the forearms to the hands. And when you get to the hands, it's like you're kind of wiping your hands clean. So you go one direction and then the other direction. And then we do it over and over. Hands to your face, releasing, listening, sliding hands down the arms, forearms, wipe the hands clean. Again, hands to the face, chin, hold your shoulders, hands slide down the arms, wipe the hands clean. Just keep going. Maybe 2 more passes. And after the second pass, just sit, letting your hands rest on your knees or your thighs, closing your eyes. Notice the state of your neck and your shoulders. Letting your breath be nice and full and natural. And letting yourself be open to receive. Perhaps there's something really simple that just needs to be acknowledged within one of your energy fields in order for that energy to feel free to move. All right, it's 11:11. Let's go ahead and set up for Shavasana now. just laying down and really just wrapping this up with a complete letting go just for a few minutes here, since that's all we've got. So gently bring your awareness now back to your body. And let your breath deepen a little bit. And then if you would, just take your time to roll to your side and slowly come on back up to a seat. All right, lovely. So notice how you feel. I send so much deep love and gratitude to all of my teachers. And all of the teachers within each one of us. So thank you all so much for coming to your mat today and for doing this very chill, mellow practice. I hope that the neck and shoulders are feeling better. So thank you. Om Shanti. Namaste.